Time for us to take a look at what's grabbing the newspaper headlines here in France with Flo. Hi there, Flo.
Hi, Kat.
And the leading story here in France today, and ever since this news came yesterday afternoon, Serge Lazarevic back home.
That's right. Let's take a look at the front page of 20 Minutes. Sums up the mood in the French press today. La Libération, freedom. So he was abducted in Mali in November 2011 by militants of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. And 20 Minutes here is really applauding a happy ending for him. A real sigh of relief on the front page of Aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien today as well. The last French hostage is free. And there's a photo of him taken in Niamey last night. Of course, he's expected to arrive any minute here in France.
And something that we don't know much about, how did he get released? What were the conditions?
Absolutely. That's a real focus in the French press today. Le Parisien points out that a lot of details remain very mysterious. What we do know is that the Nigerian president, Mamadou Issoufou, and a prominent Tuareg, Mohamed Akoite, played an instrumental role in his release. Le Figaro also takes a closer look behind the scenes, and of course one key question is whether or not a ransom was paid. According to this article, certain sources say there was some sort of compensation, so that could include a ransom or a prisoner exchange. This article points out, however, that French authorities staunchly deny this. Of course, the official French policy is not to pay compensation to hostage takers. But this article also points out the details of his release still remain very murky.
Okay, and he is in the air at the moment, due to touch down just outside Paris within the next hour or so, we're told. Let's move on to another big story. We're talking economy, the French economy really in such a tough state, or a bad state, and the Economy Minister has unveiled a load of ideas that he thinks will unblock things.
That's right, La Loi Macron, as it's called here in France. So it received a cool welcome from socialist MPs yesterday. Here you can read about it in Les Echos. He's going to present this package of reform to the cabinet today. You can see here Les Echos, the business paper, is saying that the government is really playing all its trump cards here. It's all or nothing for the government. This is a very widespread plan that includes very random and widespread measures, including opening up traditionally closed professions here in France, facilitating travel, and of course, one measure that we've been talking a lot about in the French press, it's a very divisive plan to extend Sunday opening hours for shops. Let's just say it's facing a little opposition on the left.
Yeah, it's incredible, really. When you go to the UK, almost all the shops are open on a Sunday. Outside of Paris, there's hardly any shops open here in France, are there? It's a very different situation. Now, this Loi Macron, hasn't actually been discussed in the cabinet yet, but there is plenty of criticism coming out already.
Lots of criticism in the press today. L'Humanité, the communist paper, is upset by this social democrat reform. You can see it's calling on the left to resist this free market tsunami. You can see that very menacing Macron tsunami there.
Dramatic.
Very dramatic. Le Figaro is focusing on these divisions within the Socialist Party. It says that the Socialist Party is tearing itself up over a mini reform. Now, that might sound a little harsh towards this Macron law, but basically the right-wing paper isn't so much outraged by the content of the reform package. It's really upset by the extravagant catfight. Those are the words of Le Figaro today, this catfight that is happening within the left. L'Opinion is focusing on this opposition to Macron's law as well. It's pointing out that this opposition has really brought to light an kind of anti-free market knee-jerk reaction here in France. And L'Opinion is very critical of this knee-jerk reaction, saying it's a real handicap for economic growth. And it's also focusing on this debate about working on Sundays or not. L'Opinion says this is an old-fashioned debate that other countries like the UK have already had. So why are we having it in France today?
Quite a long time ago as well. Yeah, very interesting to see these developments here in France. Let's move on with something a bit different. We're talking about the Ecology Minister Segolène Royal. She's no stranger to a controversial comment or two, is she? Now she's talking about log fires.
Log fires. This might sound very random. A lot of French papers are saying this is a weird debate to be having. I was actually telling you about this last week. Starting on January 1st, log fires, chimney fires, are going to be banned in Paris and in the neighboring region.
So get them in now.
Exactly, get them now. Got a couple days left.
Video them.
Authorities in Île-de-France, so the region that Paris is part of, put this measure in place as an anti-pollution measure. It's controversial as to how much log fires contribute to pollution, but it's a symbolic
I don't know
measure,
anyone who has a fireplace. We all live in apartments.
You'd be surprised. There's some surprising ones in Paris. But yesterday, Segolène Royal, Ecology Minister, and her ministry was part of putting this ban in place. Well, she said the ban was excessive and ridiculous. Okay. She said, you have to be a little reasonable. I'm not in favor of a society of prohibition. So she drew a lot of criticism for this comment. It's not the first time, though, that she's made controversial comments about the ecology, about the environment. Earlier this year, for instance, she suggested making toll roads free at the weekend, so this seemed to encourage people to hop into their cars and drive around. Lupsiers wonders, does Segolène Royal know that she is ecology minister? Lups, well, isn't so convinced about her, and actually, this might seem a little harsh. They say that what she is maybe not ecology minister, she is the queen of hot air.
Oh, dearie me. Bit of criticism there for Segolène Royal. Thanks very much. Flo Villamino back in a couple of hours' time with a look through the international press for you as well.